Hi class, welcome to Screenplay Writing 101. This will be your first lesson, and it's about format placement and formatting basics. There are three different kinds of format placements. The first being your slug line, which shows whether it's interior, exterior, the location, which would be your classroom in this instance, and what time of day it is, whether it be day or night. For each section, there is only interior, exterior, abbreviated and in all caps like this. You can have any setting you want for this section, and then your last section, it is only going to be indicating whether it is bright outside or dark outside. There is no sunset or anything like that. It's classified as day or night. Your second is called character cues, which would be the name of your character indicating they're about to speak. Here I have Brody. It's very simple. Your character cues are always going to be in all capital, and right underneath your character cue will start your dialogue, which moves me to the next one, which is dialogue. Your dialogue is what your character says. It is not in any way a description of the scene. That would be under normal. Dialogue is simply what your character speaks and nothing more. It could be a voiceover, or it could be an off-screen sentence, but it's always simply what is going to be spoken out loud. So here I have Brody's line, like this. For each one of these, there's a style sheet that you can find here. For your slug lines, it'll be set under normal. All you have to do is click this and it'll align it to the correct spacing and paragraph formatting for your normal. For your character cues, it'll almost be centered, but not quite. So if I wanted to type up Brody's character cue, I would come up here and select character cue. This wants me to modify it, but we're not going to do that. We want to keep everything exactly the same, so we'll click cancel. This will put Brody's name up here and centered, and it'll be centered with your dialogue. So if you wanted to write dialogue, after you hit enter, you'll space it down underneath Brody and click dialogue. This will keep it exactly lined up and in the center underneath Brody's name. The second thing I would like to go over is your font. In a traditional screenplay, in a traditional script, you're always going to be using Courier or Courier New, depending on exactly what you have on your computer, but you should have both. The style sheet is preset to be on Courier New, so you shouldn't have to worry about changing anything unless you've already clicked something on accident. You can always just come back up here and reset it to Courier New. See, now I've just changed this to something else. So I'll come back up here and I'll reset it to Courier New. It's always going to be in 12 font. The next thing I would like to go over is how to set up your scenes. This will be classified under normal, so make sure that you're set on normal, and then you can go ahead and start to set up your scene. So say Brody is a detective, and he's interested in finding out the murderer to this case. So Brody's in the classroom investigating. So we'll start off with Brody, who is always going to be capital in your normal setting. That's setting up the scene. It only describes actions. It doesn't ever describe feelings. And what you can do is describe Brody, not in detail, just his age. Traditionally, that's what you would do when setting up a character for the first time. This will only be when you mention the character for the first time in your script. After you've done this, you don't need to repeat it. So we'll say that Brody is in his 30s. So we'll place it like this. This is a perfect setting for your first scene. The way we would traditionally set this up will be like this then. So let's make it interior now, since that makes a little bit more sense for a classroom. Classroom. Day, which should be capitalized. We'll space down 1. And let's just copy this so we have this. Move this down a little so it's a little bit more separated and easy for you guys to see. After that, we want Brody to say his line. So we'll come up here and change it to character Q and type in Brody. Space down 1, and now here's his dialogue. So we'll select dialogue, and then we'll just copy and paste this over here. And there you have it. This is the setting for your first scene. You have your slug line, which tells you whether you're inside or outside, where you are, and what time of day it is. You have your character with his age description and what he's doing. Then you have his character cue and what he says. Pretty easy, right? Well, for your first assignment, what I'd like you guys to do is to create your first scene. You need to have 1 usage for each. So, start with your slug line, create a small intro, use your character cue, and then have your character say something. You can do this all in the style sheet that I included on the Northwest State University website. It's all there for you to download and use for your assignment. When you're done, all you have to do is screenshot your assignment and put your name on it and submit it onto my webpage for grading. Happy scripting!